Hey guys, Matteo here. Welcome back to a new video, and today we're gonna talk about how to price your videos. This is a question that I get asked quite a lot of times because people are like, what is your fee? What should I charge my client? I'm struggling to get the amount of money I want, so how should I structure my rates? Depends if you're a freelance, if you're gonna do an entire production. We're gonna go through all of this. I'm gonna tell you what is my usually daily rate fee, at least in the United States. It's gonna be a little bit different. And also what is my fee for producing an entire video. Of course, there's tons of variables, but there gotta be a guide and a standard process that I think we can factor in when we quote a client. As always, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my mailing list. Link in the description below. You can get a free cinematography training. And you can also sign up for my online course at butteryacademy.com. I think the main part of all this conversation is whether you are a beginner or a professional. And there's not much you can do about it. If you are a beginner, you are a beginner. If you're 20 years old, people are not gonna consider you as you are 30 years old. And this was the case for me as well. Now, the thing with the beginner is that most of the time we have to go down to compromises. So there is not much we can do about it. We cannot charge $2,000 a day if we just got our camera yesterday and we start making video. Here is more about experience, and that's what a client want. When they know you're in the industry for 10 years, that you shot with these people and these people, they kind of trust you more and they're willing to pay you a little bit more. Beginner, my suggestion there, my recommendation is try to work with small budgets projects, but also try to improve your portfolio. So of course we have to pay the bills at the end of the day, but if you can try to select even project with very low budget, like 200, 300, 400, 500, I don't know, depends what country you're in. Try to get those projects that they might get you a little bit of portfolio, because if I have to do a super boring corporate interview with a white background for 300 euros, I would not gonna do it. I'd rather stay at home and think about an idea that I can do and go outside and develop that idea. There's absolutely no point in shooting crappy projects for no money. On the contrary, very likely those crappy projects are gonna probably pay you a little bit more than cool projects. So try to work with these kind of project that can give you a little bit more creative freedom and that might help you improve your portfolio, because at the end of the day, portfolio is everything. So, but how much a beginner should charge then? Because this is the actual question, and how to price your video. I would say that a beginner should charge at least $50 per hour. So if you do a 10-hour job, that might be $500. This might also include editing at the very beginning, because you're gonna find someone that's gonna tell you, hey, I'll give you $500, you make me a video, and then you edit it and I post it on Instagram or YouTube. So $500 might not sound like a lot of money, even for a beginner in the US. Here in Portugal, it's probably much more. But I think the key here, more than pricing your video, is trying to achieve the result in the less time possible. Not necessarily compromising the quality, but trying to be smart about it. So if this guy wants a video for Instagram, maybe he thinks that you're gonna need all day and he want to pay just that $500, you can tell him, hey, look, I think I can do it in 5 hours, 4 hours. So that way you basically double your money per hour, and that could cover a little bit of the editing. So at that point, we're talking about 7 hours of work, and you get $500, not a lot of money, but for a beginner, it could be a very good way to start. That day, if you can do that video enough day, maybe you can do 2 videos for 2 clients. So at that point, and here guys, I'm not talking about crew, first DC or anything here, I'm talking about one-man band. So at that point, you take one video for 500, and then you take the second part of the day, another video 500, that's $1,000 that you're making in one day. The next day, you're gonna spend the morning editing those 2 videos. At the end of the day, in 1.5 days, you basically took home $1,000. For a medium level, I would say, I don't know, my idea was always like, if I'm only shooting, right? Like, okay, I have to go out on a day and shoot. I think I don't wanna go under $120 per hour. But to make it, let's say, worth it, right? Because sometimes, there are days where I'm on the couch, right? Because there's nothing to do and I'm working on other stuff. But if they tell me, hey, Matteo, there's this stupid project, you want to do it? I'm like, how much is the budget? They're like, it's 4 hours and it's $500. I'll take it. If I only have to show up with my camera, and of course I'm not going to go with the Ursa and the Leica, but if I'm going with the Pocket and the Sigma, it's not a lot of money. $600, but when you think that you're making them in 4 hours, rather than stay on the couch or stay home working on something, I'd rather take those $600. So now let's move to professional. This is basically my fees. In the professional category, I think we should distinguish, of course, between my cinematographer fee, so my daily rate as a crew member, or sometimes, a lot of times, they hire me, Broderick Films, my production company, to actually shoot an entire video from pre-production to production to editing and delivery. So my daily rate as a cinematographer in the US market, it's $1,500 a day plus gear. And this is for a 10-hour shoot. But usually with the Ursa and the Leica, we're looking at $1,800 to $2,000 a day. Again, most of the time, these are a one-day job, maybe a two-day job, sometimes three, but it's pretty rare. I don't think there's too much to talk about here. This is vary a lot on your experience, on your portfolio, and how are you selling yourself to the client. It also depends from the client. Of course, if Nike comes over or a director comes and, hey, there's this commercial for Nike, this rate is gonna jump up to probably $4,000 a day. Again, as I mentioned, if it's an interesting project, if it's a short film, I don't have any problem going down to $500 a day. But at that point, I only care about portfolio. I'm not even looking at money. Lastly, let's talk about a full video production, because many times clients come to me and they want me to shoot a video, to hire a little crew, to edit the project and grade the project. Again, many variables. Do they want to use my Leica? Do they want to use an anamorphic? Do they want to use Ursa or Alexa? Again, it's your medium, small client. It's not Nike. It's not nothing, especially because Nike goes to agency. They have contracts in place and everything. And keep in mind, guys, this requires pre-production. So there's a couple of days of pre-production. Then you go on set. You have the shoot day. And then you have the editing, color grading, delivery, a review, some feedback, so some edits, some stuff like that. So it's a one-day shoot, but the job, it might take as well like a week. So what I try to take for my production company in those cases is at least $5,000, okay? This does not include my DP fee. So we're looking at around $7,000 plus the first AC, plus the gaffer, plus the rental. Everything else is pretty much extra. But usually if you involve some crew, whatever, yeah, it's probably around $10,000. Again, this is US market, and then from there I can scale it down, or I scale it up if I know that the client have money, because of course they want more things usually, so it's much more longer process for pre-production. Some of them also want footage delivery and they want it at the night of the shoot because they have a crazy deadline. So it depends. In that case, there's fee for rushing everything and blah blah blah. But I think it's a pretty good example of what you should charge depending on your level of experience, and also depend on your portfolio, because of course, even if you have 10-year experience and your portfolio suck, there's absolutely no way you can make $2,000 a day as a DP. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments if you have any question regarding the rates, the price. If you want to do a one-on-one consultation, feel free to send me an email, matteo@matteobertoli.me. I'm recently doing quite a lot of them because people, rather than looking at all the YouTube videos, they want me to be very specific with them. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.